shit, I did it! Yes, finally! Oh my god. Holy shit, I finally killed him! Oh my god. I love the projectile disappeared because I would have totally forgiven. Holy fuck, that took forever. Hey everybody, it's Jeff here with NVG Games, back for another episode of Top 5 Tuesdays. As you can see, this week's episode is going to be my top 5 Super Mario games. Now, Number 5 is a GameCube game, and that is Super Mario Sunshine. Of course, we all remember the famous Shine Get line in the game when you got a Shine Sprite, which is pretty funny. There was a meme about that, before memes became a big thing back in the day, and the game was just fun. I mean, it was great. I mean, the only things I didn't really like about it was the lack of Yoshi and the lack of multiplayer. Would have been nice to have that as well. But other than that, it was a really fun game. And even the parts that where you lost FLUDD and you had to just do the regular platforming with Mario, old school Mario. Those were challenging, but it was still fun at the same time. And I think they should do a sequel one of these days. That'd be nice. Maybe they could do that on NX. That'd be pretty cool, I think. Or maybe even on 3DS or whatever comes after 3DS. So,
Number 4.
the number 4 is a classic title, and that is Super Mario Bros. 3 on the NES. Now, I got Super Mario Bros. 3 originally back in 1990, I think it was, when the game came out. So I was 8 years old in 1990. And I got it for my birthday that year. And all my friends were very jealous of me because, when you're a kid, you only get games maybe for your birthday and Christmas, or, what other, holidays you celebrate. And that's about it. I mean, you don't have, disposable income really, except for maybe an allowance. And even that, you might be able to get one game a year out of that, because allowance isn't very much. At least it wasn't when I was a kid. Maybe it is nowadays, I don't know. But anyway, it was a really fun game. Mario 3 is a classic, and in my opinion, it's the best of the NES Mario games, and one of the best of the retro games in general. It doesn't take the number 1 spot, probably the number 2 spot in the retro Mario titles, in my opinion. Retro being, older than, I don't know, 2000, I guess. Although some people would say that GameCube is retro, but to me it seems like it wasn't that long ago, but I guess it really was. GameCube came out in 2001, I think. Yeah, which is, man, that was 15 years ago. Good Lord. I'm old. Excuse me. But anyways,
Number 3.
number 3 is going to be a Wii title, and that is Super Mario Galaxy.
Whee!
This is another really good game, and it had some awesome music and just great gameplay and just lots of fun. I mean, it was really good. I mean, it was so good they even did a sequel, which they generally nowadays don't do sequels for 3D Mario games. They didn't do one for Mario 64. They didn't do one for Mario Sunshine. You know, and they did for Galaxy, but they haven't for 3D World either on Wii U. So that was to show you how much they thought of Galaxy and how well it did, relatively speaking. So, and maybe it might be on Virtual Console. I'm not 100% certain on that, but if it's not, you should definitely check out the Wii version of it and see if you can find that and play it.
Number 2.
So number 2 is a game I mentioned already, and that is Super Mario 64 on the N64. A very favorite amongst many people, very classic game. You know, it launched the N64, that and Pilot Wing 64, and maybe one other game. I can't remember if there was 3 or 2 for the launch of the N64. But that revolutionized, you know, 3D platforming. It introduced, you know, the 3D camera of platformers, and you know, the ability to independently control the camera, and just set the standard for years to come for 3D platformers. And it was the first foray of Mario into the third dimension. As prior to that, all the Mario games were, you know, were two-dimensional. And it was just a really good game. I mean, it's lots of fun, and I mean, who can forget, you know, getting the wing cap for the first time, or Metal Mario for the first time? And it's a great soundtrack as well. Dire Dire Docks is one of my favorite songs in the entire series of Mario. If you haven't heard that theme, look it up on YouTube. It's great, in my opinion. I listen to it periodically just because I like the music without even playing the game. You should definitely check it out on Virtual Console if it's available on there, or you know, track down an N64 copy if you can't get it on Virtual Console.
Number 1.
And number 1 is a title that I alluded to a little bit earlier, talking about retro titles, and that is Super Mario World on the Super Nintendo. got this. I think we got our Super Nintendo in '91 or '92. It was Christmas that year. My brother and I got it as a joint present, and we played the heck out of that game. Because back then games had two-player. A lot of the time. Nowadays the Mario titles don't tend to have multiplayer except for 3D World, which is on the new Super Mario Brothers series. But most of them, like I said, Galaxy and Sunshine and them didn't have multiplayer, if I remember correctly. I mean, Galaxy had the the thing you could do with the star bits, but that's about it. It didn't have like true multiplayer, if I recall correctly. But anyway, Super Mario World, we got it as a pack-in with the Super NES, and it actually came with 2 controllers back then, which nowadays you're lucky if you get 1 controller in your bundle of your system. But you got 2 back then with the Super NES and Mario World on the cart, and it was just fun. I mean, there was 96 exits to get in that game, and I got them all. Took a while, but I did get them all. I don't remember if I got them all the first time through, or I had to go through it again to find them all. But it was just a great game, and the best in the series, in my opinion. It was the pinnacle of it. You had all the aspects of Super Mario 3, which was my second favorite retro Super Mario game, as I mentioned. Like all the power-ups. You had the cape, the fire flower, the mushroom, of course, Starman. Even introduced the 3-up moon, which is not seen before that, if I remember correctly, which gave you the 3 extra lives instead of just 1 for the extra life 1-up mushroom. And the cape took the place of the leaf, the super leaf from Mario 3, which gave you the raccoon suit to fly around with, and the cape let you fly permanently, basically, if you could control it long enough and didn't get hit. Whereas with the raccoon suit, you were limited by your P meter, unless you had a P-wing in Mario 3. But yeah, and you got Yoshi, of course. That was his first appearance in the series in Super Mario World, and he definitely changed the gameplay. And then you had the ability with the multicolor Yoshis, the blues, the yellow and red Yoshi in later levels in Star World and Special World, which gave you different abilities. I think blue was the flying Yoshi, and red breathed fire, and yellow did the earthquake stomp, if I remember correctly. Been a while since I played through that all the way, but hard to believe I still remember all that stuff, even though that was over 20 years ago. Wow. Shows you what a classic it is. Classic stuff like that you remember. Games that are not good, you tend not to remember. You remember it being bad, but that's about it. But good games, they last a lifetime, and that's just an example of it right there. And I'm sure it's available on Virtual Console. Wii U, 3DS, new 3DS. It's probably on at least one of those, probably several of those. So definitely check it out if you've never played it before. If you like Mario games, you'll definitely like Super Mario World. And if you don't, well, I don't know what to tell you. But that's pretty much it for my top 5 for Mario games. Let me know what you think in the comments below. And you can agree or disagree or whatever you want to tell us about your top 5 Mario games. You can follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/nvideogaming, or on Twitter at twitter.com/nvideogames, or you can follow us on our official website at nvideogames.com for Nintendo news, screenshots, trailers, and lots more good stuff. And you can hit the subscribe button here on YouTube to subscribe to our channel. We post new videos daily except for Sunday, and we post our recorded versions of our live streams as well. So thanks for tuning in, thanks for watching, and game on.